For this first exercise of the chapter, we're going to write two functions, one that computes the tax based on a gross amount, and the second function will calculate a net pay using the tax function we write previously. So let's get started. We're going to call this program chap11ex1.py. So the first thing we're going to do is write our tax function. And in comments, I'm going to show you the tax table. 0 through $240, the percentage tax is 0%. $241 through $480, the tax rate is 15%. And then $481 and greater, the tax rate is 28%. So using that table, we can write the following function. We're going to call our function tax. Our parameter will be amount. And then we just write an if-elif statement. If amount is less than or equal to $240, return 0. Elif amount greater than 240 and amount less than or equal to $480, return amount times 0.15 for the 15%. Else, return amount times 0.28 for the taxed amount. So let's write a quick program just to test the function. We'll say print enter amount. Amount equals int input. And then we'll say print the tax is plus string tax amount. And we'll do it on a couple of even numbers so we can get an idea how the function works. So chap11ex1.py. So we have an error. Very good. Let's take a look. Line 15. Usually when an error like this occurs, it's usually because you didn't close all your parentheses, just like that. And again, I leave these errors in because you're going to be making the same types of mistakes. So it helps to be able to see how I fix them to aid you in your debugging efforts. So let's run it again. There it is. So we'll say the amount is 100 and the tax is 0. Run it again. Let's say the amount is 300 and the tax is 45. That's 15%. That's right. Let's run it one more time. 1,000 and the tax is $280. That's 28%. So that's right. So let's go back to our program. Now we're ready to add the net pay function. So for net pay, our parameter will be the gross pay, and we'll simply return the gross pay minus the amount they were taxed on the gross pay. We're not taking into consideration any other sort of deductions or anything. Net is based strictly on how much you're taxed. Let's write a new program. I'll leave this one in. And we'll say print enter gross pay. We'll call it GP is equal to int input. And then we'll say print net pay is plus net pay. We're going to make that a string. That time we have the right number of parentheses. So let's exit and save. Let's clear the screen. So let's say it's $1,000 and the net pay is $720, and that's right because it would have been $280 minus 1,000 to get $720. Let's run it one more time. Let's say 500, and that's correct. Again, because of the 28%, it would be 140. So let's look at the program one more time. So our tax function uses an if-elif to determine and return the tax on a given amount. And our net pay function uses the tax function to determine net pay based on a user's gross pay. So that wraps up this first exercise of the chapter, and now we're ready to move to the second exercise where we're going to revisit computing the factorial of a number.